Hello and welcome to the show. I am back on a Car Mechanic Simulator 2015 taking a look at the latest DLC. Now, this game has had all sorts of different DLCs, from adding in some real licensed cars to some crazy contraptions and so on and so forth. This latest one is a little bit different. It adds a new building and it kind of changes a little bit the way that you go about the start of the game. You see, normally you will get jobs come through on your phone, and to begin with you will get fairly simple jobs. I can't, for example, go and work on the Maserati Sebring here, as I haven't got enough XP. The basic jobs are, one of them is, wants filters to be changing. One of them is car is hard to control with probably brakes or something, or steering is a little bit wonky. For example, this car over here, it just wants you to change the oil. Or change the oil and change an oil filter as well. Now, you're not going to earn a huge amount of money for these jobs. You'll get some XP, and, you gradually build your way up through that. But it does take time, and you can find it a little bit boring early on, because you are literally stuck with often working with very simple cars and, very, very simple jobs until you get past the first little bit. Now, this new DLC adds a new way of making money early on, and it also sort of showing off some of the other cars. So if we go to the exit building here, there is a car stripping area that we will head to. Now, it's going to cost us $1,000 to go there, so it's going to cost us half of our starting money to go here. However, it is most definitely worth it. So we will then be teleported into this, I say garage, it kind of looks like an abandoned building that you would find in a survival game, really, doesn't it? I mean, don't know quite whereabouts we are. It kind of looks a little bit like we're in part of the compound that when you go to test drive cars. It looks like we're around there. It's a very shiny floor. Very shiny floor. I can't crouch down. I can't try and sneak out. I'm pretty sure we can't get out. Anyway, you are kind of teleported into here with a random vehicle. Oh, is that a... Oh, we can. We can take a photograph of what is our vehicle for the... I say for the day. We're just going to take this car apart, basically. I'm now just exploring all the other... Is there anything else we can... Not really, that we can do here. So, yeah, we've got to then... It's literally just like you would be disassembling any vehicle that you have perhaps worked on. Certainly, when I buy a car from the auctions or whatever, you'll strip them down completely to rebuild them in perfect condition and so on. These spawn in a little bit different. The cars that you buy from the auction house, I believe, will have, aside from bodywork, will have all of the bits on them. These can have a random assortment of bits. For example, just before I filmed this, I loaded up quickly just to do a test, make sure everything was working and so on, and it put me in here with the Cobra sports car, supercar thing, and that literally had the engine block, and that was it as far as engine parts go. So it can be relatively simple. I mean, this thing here is missing the cover on the top. Otherwise, the engine looks in relatively decent amount of parts in here. And then, it is just, the same good old Car Mechanic Simulator, stress-relieving tear bits apart. The downside to this DLC that I'm kind of finding is that you can keep some of these. So we can take these parts off. You can keep some of these parts. So you'll see down the bottom. It will tell if it's recovered or whether it's complete junk, I believe, is the other message that will come up. It's okay. We've recovered. Have we got any complete? There must be some complete junk in here. That I mean, the engine is practically orange. I'm not sure that we can keep the block or anything. All right. So we'll get out all of this. That will go over there. Timing belt recovered. Or timing belt cover thing recover. Okay, so we're actually recovering a fair bit of this vehicle. Now, we are earning money from just removing these parts, as far as I am aware of this. This is what we're going to go back and check on. So, I'm earning money for taking off all of these parts. Despite the fact that most of them I'm not kind of selling at the moment, I think they're all kind of going to my inventory. Now, I can't look at my inventory while I'm out here. This is kind of its own little separate place that we're working with at the moment. We've got 2 spark plugs. Yep, just 2 spark plugs that will be, I imagine, pretty rare. There you go. One's come up there saying junk. I don't know if that immediately gets thrown away or if it still goes all of the inventory. Again, that's what we're going to check up upon. And then we'll take apart this engine. You can see I've already made back far more money than I've spent in this early section. kind of the slight problem I have with this is that while it's nice to have an option as another way to earn money, another thing to do on this game, it is a little bit easy with this. You don't risk anything going out here to try and you know take this car apart, for example. I can't really lose money from going over. There's 80 parts for me to to get off on the vehicle. We've got all of the brakes and the wheels, etc. to all the brakes, the suspension, wheels, and all of that lot there to come off as well. Actually, this car here looks relatively complete as well. So yeah, we're going to take off a huge amount of parts. Good for earning money, yes, but there's kind of no real risk involved here. I'd like there to be, you know, when you go to do this, perhaps, you know, some way of having to try and either find the cars or, you know, buy the vehicles, and, you know, you run the risk of losing some money, or, you know, having a car that the parts come off in such bad condition that they are completely and utterly worthless. Something along those lines, because, yeah, there is not a huge amount of challenge to this. It's more of a sandbox mess around with random vehicles that you happen to find around the place. It is kind of what it is, because yeah, you could end up working on some really interesting cars that you might not see at this early in the game if you're playing normally, which is nice. I think I've worked on pretty much every vehicle in this game now. I've played a fair amount of hours, so there's not a huge amount new to be added with this, for me at least. Shall we get rid of these? Yep. I mean, the different parts are worth different amounts, so if you happen to find a gearbox in pristine condition, then it's worth, or an engine block in pristine condition, for example, it's worth a lot. That ABS module was worth a fortune. So you'll see some of the bits that are coming off there are not giving... Okay, so I think the bits that come off there are complete junk. They don't give you any money whatsoever. They'll come over into here. We'll get rid of the brake pads. We will get rid of that. So yeah, they're earning okay money for now. Does look like this isn't going to be the greatest amount of money ever made from taking a car apart. A lot of the big bits, the big important bits that can get you a fair amount of cash, engine block, for example, one of the most important parts in it is completely and utterly wrecked on this car, so that's not going to be earning me. It might actually just be counted as a junk as well, so yeah, so the tie rods there are not really... I've got a little bit for that one there's got some. Get rid of the drive shaft. Oh, we've got a little bit. The gearbox, yeah, gearbox and engine block are literally just rust. Never a good sign. Never a good sign at all. This is a pretty... yeah, the gear... Okay, we're not going to earn a huge amount of money on this one. Perhaps not as much as you could, but it's still... Oh, okay, we're apparently still going to make 2,000. That was already with the 1,000 kind of entry fee taken off. I guess you could say that the £1,000 was a sort of search for a car to tear apart. Kind of makes sense in some respects, but yeah, I wish there was kind of sort of a more active finding of vehicles to take apart, or more risk involved in all of this. Catalytic converter, that should get us a bit of money at least. I don't know why I'm just kind of wandering down here. I got bored working at the front, so we're not going to work at the rear of the car. Get rid of the exhaust. Yeah, this does look like it's got pretty much all of the big important bits that are the big valuable bits are rusted to hell. There is no recovery option for the vehicle here. You can't take this one back to try and do it up or anything. It's here in this garage for you to tear apart, and that is that. If you want to try and do up one of these cars, you've got to go buy it at the auction house, and that will come off there. Damn it, it's typical that this one here has got... I mean, we're earning little bits of money with all of these, but with these sort of parts going on here, it's the real bits that I want to be saved. These sort of, the whole rear, the main cross member and all of that. Completely. I wonder how this car... What life this car has led to have got it to this stage of... Well, I say what life it's led. It might have just been, parked somewhere and completely forgotten about and battered by the weather for 10 years. But... Oh, we don't have to worry about rubber bushings. The joy of not having to worry about losing them and forgetting and trying to search for the one little bit that that you've managed to misplace. We'll get rid of this as well. Down here, I think we can get that off. What's that? Ah, there's a... Yep. Okay, well, we still have to worry about them because they're still in the bloody way of everything, but never mind. Fuel pump looks okay. Fuel tank will get me some. I don't know if... the condition of the parts that you're taking off will make any difference to the price that you get for them, or whether it's just if it's counted as junk you don't get any, if it's counted as goods you get awarded some. Not sure on that one. We'll get rid of all these bits in here. That's fantastic. These could all come off and we're still earning some cash. So we're up to 3,000 monies earned so far, which is a hell of a lot more than you would have been making from the sort of traditional jobs that you'd be doing. I don't know if this gives you any XP. That's something else that we're going to go and find out. We're going to get off the sway bar, and then cross member can come off. That was crap. Typical. We'll get the front done now. Got 11 parts left to take off. Mostly just sort of front suspension bits, get the engine block out, hunt for any bodywork that I've forgotten about. Come on, that can all get out of there, that can come off there. There's probably a rubber bushing somewhere. Oh no, that's got none in it anyway. Oh, we got the front. At least the front one was okay enough to make us some money. We'll drop this down. I think it's just engine block and filter then, isn't it? Yeah, we'll get rid of these filter clips. They are $5 each. I wish I could get paid for. Yeah, so condition does make a difference to how much you get paid. I just realised there from those. So yeah, if the car that you're working on was worth $1, that one's probably going to be worth $4. Yeah, so the condition of the parts will make a difference. Like completely to how much you get paid on them. Overall, though, you're going to make some money. Please don't be junk. Please don't be junk. Oh. Hey, there we go. 337. It's some. And that is the car completely stripped down. Nothing more to do on that one. So if we then go, we'll head back to the garage and see if it's given us XP and see what our part inventory is looking like. So, back to the main game, you get this nice sort of overview thing. These are all the bits that we recovered, I believe. So anything in red is the practically worthless bit. So we don't get paid for doing the job, as you can imagine. Now, at this point, we can choose to keep the parts. So, you know, things like the ABS module, for example, is in half-decent nick. We could probably repair that up and then put it on a car when it comes in for a job, and you can save some money that way. Or you can sell all the recovered parts that I believe should be the, was it $3,800? That I reckon. Yeah, so there we go. We're up to 5,800 immediately. We got 4. I don't know if the 4 XP wasn't me messing around with this. It might have been. I don't know. So yeah, we got the 3,800 XP. None of the crap in our inventory. But yeah, you can choose to keep the parts if you want to use them to build up a vehicle, which could work quite nicely if you could actually choose the vehicle that you were going for. So if we went off to the auction house and we bought a car, you know, we bought the, whatever, I can't remember the name of the car that we were tearing apart now, but for example, we bought one of them, you went off to the car stripping one, you could go and try and find the right thing to tear out the parts that you needed to complete your car, would be great. But because it's only just a random luck of the draw, there's no real way. Yeah, some bits are, you know, transferable. If we go in here, does this one here have the ABS module, for example? There we go. Yeah, the ABS pump, the ABS module are transferable between just about every single car. You'll spend a lot of time taking the vehicles apart, trying to find the bits you want, if you want to kind of do it like that. You're much better off doing the sort of donor car rebuilds that I think I've done a video on them in the past, where you just buy 2 of the same car from the auction house and then kind of make the best of their parts together. It's, yeah, as I said, it's a nice, quicker way to get some early money. You won't get XP, so you won't be able to get to the higher jobs. I mean, yeah, 3,000 XP is a fair bit of time, and you won't be able to get to these upgrades and so on quicker by doing it, but you will be getting some money. And as I said, you can work on some interesting cars. I'm going to just spin the wheel and we'll find out what we can take apart with this next one, just out of curiosity, what monsters we can come up with. Well, this is a very, very bright blue. Reese would be proud of the offensive blue on, on this vehicle. That's fantastically bright. And, oh, we're missing various bits and pieces of it. Oh, that engine block looks in brilliant condition, though. I want to take apart to see how much money the engine block here itself is worth. That's probably worth more than almost all of the bits that I took out of that last car, quite frankly. It's going to be worth a huge amount, I would imagine. Yeah, kind of the luck of the draw thing will throw out some interesting cars. And as I said, if you're inexperienced with this game, it's a great way to kind of start it and to, you know, earn some quick money, have some fun with some. Oh, the gearbox is in nice condition as well. Have some fun with some nicer vehicles than you would end up working with for quite some time. I just like a little bit more risk versus rewards, and yeah, just a little bit more kind of choice in ways that you could be trying to earn money and make use of the parts. Because, yeah, as I said, you can keep the parts, but I don't really see why they're ever... why it's ever massively advantageous to, on the most part anyway, unless you know what kind of vehicle you want to be working on, it happens to all coincide at the right time. That gearbox is going to be hopefully worth a fortune, judging by the looks of it. I'm thinking that's it. Oh, let's play a new game and guess how much the part is worth. I'm thinking $400, $500 perhaps on that one. Oh no, I was completely wrong. 800. So that's almost paid entirely for my trip down here on its own with the with the gearbox, and the engine block should easily pay for the trip down here. Possibly, we'll see. I might be completely wrong. Like I might be completely overestimating the value. I'm pretty sure they're about $2,500, $3,000 for the engine block. The flywheel's junk. I mean, the crankshaft was $150 right there. Come on, engine block. Please be worth a huge amount, because that does look in fairly decent nick for Car Mechanic Simulator bits. Oh, 2,600. There we go. Yeah. Great way to make money. Fantastic way to make money, and a nice way to experience the game early on. Perhaps a little bit easy in terms of making the money, and definitely a lot of potential for this as an idea. That is the shiniest bit of bodywork I've ever seen. Good God. Yeah, definitely potential as far as an idea goes. Just needs a little bit more depth to it, and there could be a really fun aspect to all of this. Admittedly, the DLC is very cheap. It's less than £1. I think it's like 70p at the moment. I don't know what that is in dollars. It's probably about $1, to be honest, for this DLC. And if you are just looking to get into this game, you're just starting out on Car Mechanic Simulator, I would very much recommend this. If you've played a game, as much as I have, it's not essential. It's not essential at all. It might be a fun little distraction, and if you're wanting to earn some quick money, if you happen to, like me, change computers about 3 times and lost various save files, and you want to start again through a proper career mode rather than cheating and using sandbox mode, then it's probably quite useful. But yeah, not massively essential, but certainly potential for ideas going on with this one. Yeah, that would be my sum up. I just want to admire the shininess of the back of this car some more, though, before we go. Look at the condition of everything else in here, okay? The exhaust, the rear suspension cross member, and then that. How has that stayed so clean? It's ridiculous. That's going to be it from me, though. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and until next time, goodbye.